Hello, fellow woodworking teachers. I'm making this video for the CTE conference and sharing it out. I did this last year and doing kind of an update from what I started last year. So I want to give you a quick tour of my shop and talk about some of the projects that I do here, and let's see how it goes here. All right, north end of my shop, we've got two tables here, one for gluing and the other one is for finish, trying to get the kids to keep those separate so we don't get glue in their finish. You can see we've got several kids gluing up cutting boards right now. We've got our Irwin clamps, bar clamps that we hang up. Nice and neat. I think I've got room for 30 of them right now, and our other clamps in the corner. I love the Irwin clamps because they stand up and they take a lot less room than the old ones. You see some of the old ones underneath the table there, you know, where we had to lay them out flat, and when you get 25 kids per block, quite a mess. After the kids glue up, of course, they do have to grab a rag and wet it in the sink and wash off the clamps so the clamps continue to work well. Let's see, what else can I tell you? We've got 6 tables, and we have 4 to 5 kids per table, so it gets tight in here. I'm hoping to replace these tables, a couple of them each year. Some of these are probably 40 years old and the doors are off and look kind of terrible, so I've flipped them and refinished them to make them look a little nicer. Yeah, that's the student work tables. I think I'll start over here on this side. We've got cabinets for the kids where everything's located, so all their sanders and the equipment, both pneumatic and electrical, stored in here, and miscellaneous storage, sandpapers and stuff down below, and finishes down below. But you can kind of see here, everything has its place for the kids. Miscellaneous up above. Got a Milwaukee. I love it because it's got electrical in it, so I can be charging the guns in there. Purchased this last year. My goodness, how I love this cabinet. So much storage in there. A place for all your bolts, your nuts, your washers, your screws, tapes, glues, you know, different kinds of things that you just typically, you know, throw in a big drawer somewhere. So glad to have that. One of the things that in the last year, they've added the pneumatic lines. I've got 2 drops per table, and I've got enough of these coiled hoses for, you know, each table to have 2, but I've had to remove them. I've got my last class is a freshman class, and they just cannot leave them alone. You know, I'm trying to train them not to spray each other. They could really injure one another if it was put in an ear or an eye, about 100 pounds of pressure. But wonderful to have that, so when we need the pneumatic nailers and brad guns or staple guns, we've got that right at the table, and also a way to blow ourselves off as well. And you can see we've got electrical at each table as well. I have 3, multiple router machines, and they are all dedicated for raised panel making. So each one has its own function. The tongues for the rails are done here. The rails and stiles ran here, and then I've also got a dedicated machine for the panels. Been having trouble, and I'd like to hear from some of you. I've been through about 3 routers with this bit in it, and I don't know if it's just and we take it, you know, we pass it 3 times before the part is finished, so we're not trying to take it all in one pass. But I've been having trouble with the bearings going out, so need to find out what you guys are doing there. Safety glass cabinet, There are a couple of air handlers. They're floor units. When I have to blow out the shop, I run those and it helps clear out the air. Here recently, we just got 2 hanging units too, which are wonderful and fairly quiet. So when the kids are in here sanding, we can keep the air nice and clean. Radial arm saw, miter saw, a couple band saws, a floor drill press, and then I've got 2 on a tabletop units. Okay, you can see on the south side of our building, the dust collection system that was put in a little over a year ago. It's wonderful. It's got a filter inside, so that kind of takes up a little bit of the room. Speed sander is amazing. Had very little issues with it. It is a workhorse. An old planer, but we did have an update with the helical head on it, so it's working well. 2 table saws, okay, saw stop table saws, 2 joiners, okay, so the kids don't have to wait so much. Try to get 2 of everything. Have some Craig units over here, table routers, and then you can see our sanders over in the corner, oscillating spindle sanders, edge sander, and a disc sander there. Wanted to show you in my office real quick. Ready to switch out our lasering here. You can see I've got a cutting board done and putting another one in and ready to hit go. Our software is really simple to use. A lot of it starts out as a Corel Draw, and then the software that came with our machine is very easy to use as well. I can send you that contact info if needed. That thing should start out here. Yeah. So it's just big enough to do the projects that I've got assigned for the kids. Always get the biggest machine you can. We have a nice fume extractor. Sorry for my office being in shambles here. It's been a long week. It's Friday, so I'm going to start a this girl wanted her name nice and big on her cutting board, so all I need to do there is push go, and I think we're all set up. The Aspire program is what we use for our CNC routering. See a bunch of the projects out here. Show you what we're doing. The entry-level class does a plaque, and they get to customize it, either laser, burn something in, or use the CNC router that you just saw, cut it in and add epoxy if they want to. So second project, cutting board. There's a lasered one, there's a routered one. Okay. Our third project's a mini cedar chest. Our school's a one-on-one school, so every kid has his computer. They could sit in their favorite chair, on the couch, or in a bed, and be able to have a work surface. Okay, then we've got the mini cedar chest is the finishing project. You can see I routered in, this is an old chest of mine, routered it in and did not fill it with epoxy. So that's the end of the semester project for the first class. Then we've got our advanced class. This is the plan to build a nightstand, and then they customize it as well. So kind of a Chiefs theme. Got Mahomes and Kelsey there on the doors, and the Chiefs emblem on the top. All right, some student work here. Our cutting board on the back side, we do a drip groove with the CNC machine downstairs. Some lasering and routering of projects. Wanted to show you real quick our wood supply room. It's nice and close to the shop and full of wood ready for student work. So we are limited on storage, kind of hurting in that way. I have one class over on this side, another class, 2 to 3 kids per shelf on this side, and then another class in here where at least this one's lockable, so nice storage there. From there, finish room, nice and well lit. You can see I've got some mini cedar chests waiting for finish. Okay, so have a little turntable on this table that I can easily spray around the project's 360. So you can see some of our epoxy pours, one that we did today. But that is the finish room. We have an explosion-proof fan that vents outside. We're on the 2nd level, so we just vent it right outside. Nice and bright, so you can see the finish and how well you're putting it on. I think that about ends the tour. We do have some storage upstairs. Don't need to go in there. All right, well, I am going to end our tour here. One of the things I love about this shop is we have windows on 3 full sides. So right now the blinds are down, but could be up